Samsung's S Pen is no doubt one of the most useful tools in the smart device space. You can get so much done with it once you know how to use it, but one thing that someone could argue is that using the S Pen on the display of a Samsung device either feels good, just okay, or bad overall. It seems like Samsung has recognized this and has come out with an accessory that feels like it should have existed a long time ago. That accessory is this, the Samsung Note View cover. Now, this is available for all three variants of the Tab S8 series. What it's aiming to do is give people a true pen-to-paper experience while potentially giving you the nostalgia of remembering the last time you did use one years ago. Today, we're going to be taking a look at if this case actually goes ahead and does that. Now, I will be using the Tab S8 Ultra for this review of this case. However, the case should pretty much be the same for the Tab S8 and the Tab S8 Plus, so feel free to follow along if you'd like. With that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at this case and see if it does indeed give you that nostalgic feeling of pen to paper. As always, let's go ahead and take a look at what you get in the box. So here is what you get in the box. The case. Oh, and yeah, you get this little quick start guide here. Other than that, you get a whole bunch of cardboard. Yeah, that's pretty much all you get in the box, and that's really it. One of the things I did find interesting on the back of this box, and here I will read this to you. The outer surface of the lower part of the Note View cover has been treated with an antimicrobial substance. The clear portion of the cover does not have the antimicrobial coating. The antimicrobial coating protects the cover. It does not protect users or other items against viruses, germs, or disease organisms. So I thought that was pretty interesting. They put that on there. I thought I would just read that to all of you. As far as the price goes, you have three different prices. That is going to depend highly upon the tablet you own. For the Tab S8 Ultra, this case is $99.99, which is basically $100. For the S8 Plus, it's going to be $89.99. And for the Tab S8, it's going to be $79.99. These cases can be found on Samsung.com like you see here. To go ahead and talk about the features, this case is supposed to emulate the feeling of paper. It is S Pen sensitive. It attaches magnetically to the back of your tablet. On the back of the case, it has a hole for the S Pen so that it stays there and charges. On the inside of the case, you have a cradle for the S Pen. And of course, you have the antimicrobial coating for bacteria, like I read off to you when I was going over what was in the box. This case has a very simple and straightforward design to it. The front plastic cover here can be seen through right when it is pressed up against your tablet's display. It feels kind of like the matte screen film you'd get on a laptop display, and it's also pretty flexible. The plastic cover leads into this kind of faux leather material Samsung uses, which also stretches around to the back of the case. The case here is magnetic like most of Samsung's other official cases. This magnet is actually pretty strong, and it seems to hold the tablet pretty steady, even with shaking it so much here. I actually tried to make my tablet fall out of this case onto my rug, but it actually didn't, and it holds better than the actual keyboard case Samsung makes. It does feature a cutout for your S Pen so that it's able to charge while it's on the tablet here, and on top of that, you have another cradle for the S Pen on the inside here, but this one does not allow the S Pen to charge whatsoever. The case does not have a built-in stand anywhere on it, so it must be used while either holding the tablet or laying it down on a table or other surface. You should also keep in mind that this case will not protect the left, top, and right sides of your tablet. You also will not be able to go ahead and manipulate the screen using your fingers here, because this case is primarily supposed to be used with your S Pen. Using this case does have a feeling similar to paper, but I don't know if I'd say it's just like writing on a piece of paper. I will say that it's very, very close though, and I really do appreciate the willingness to try and innovate here. I think this case would definitely be more suited to artists, people taking classes, someone in a business setting, and maybe some kind of insurance type agent who has to take notes while outside. One thing you really have to understand with this case is that it is made to be used primarily with your S Pen. And I know I said that, but I definitely want to reiterate it once again. Although you can see through it, you cannot use your finger on it at all. It will only respond to the signals your S Pen emulates. So the pros to using this case is that it is probably the closest thing you'll get to a pen and paper experience while using a tablet. It's slim and light and doesn't add much bulk or weight to the tablet. The materials feel decently premium. There's a cutout for the S Pen on the back side, and there's also a magnetic holder on the inside of the case. Moving on to the cons, this case is just too expensive even at its lowest price point for the Tab S8. The plastic covering also feels like it could snap with enough force. It effectively disables the use of your fingers on the screen when you have the plastic covering over it. There is no kickstand on the back, so you have to lay the tablet flat on a table. I didn't say this one before, but the S Pen cutout that's on the back of this case leaves the potential to lose your S Pen if it's hit hard enough. The S Pen cradle on the inside of this case does not charge your S Pen. This case does not protect the left, top, and right sides of your tablet, so they will be exposed. And finally, writing on this case constantly could potentially degrade the tip of your S Pen if you are writing hard enough. To kind of summarize everything up, it's like I said before, this case feels like something that should have been available as an option once Samsung's tablets started coming with S Pens. I feel like this would have given them time to improve on what seems like such an obvious accessory. The experience of writing on this surface here is surely an interesting nod to the good old pen and paper. And even though it doesn't feel all the way there, I could still see this case being useful in certain situations, but I'm not sure how practical it would be for bigger tablets like the S8 Plus and S8 Ultra. I would recommend this case if you find yourself desiring that pen and paper feel, but you should definitely temper your expectations and go in expecting to find a comfortable way to utilize this case in every situation. Oh, I don't really have much more to say about this case whatsoever. It's a really interesting feel. It's a really interesting thing that Samsung came out with this, but again, I still feel like it should have existed years ago and they would have had time to refine it by then. So with that being said, wherever you are in the world, have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, and I will see you in the next video.